Brian Hickerson appears to have been pursuing another woman just months before Hayden Panettiere's death, and a trail of private Instagram messages and texts obtained by Page 6 is now shedding light on those alleged advances. The woman, now 26 and from Greenville, South Carolina, says she met Hickerson at a downtown nightclub called Cat's Pajamas on March 28th while she was out with a friend. She says she was heavily intoxicated that night and barely remembered meeting him. The next day, however, she noticed Hickerson had followed her on Instagram and sent her a message asking her out for a date. At the time, she says she had no idea who he was and had no knowledge of his connection to Panettiere. Hickerson's account has since been deactivated, although public posts still tag the handle associated with him. The woman responded several days later, explaining that she barely remembered the night they met and asking what had happened. Hickerson allegedly told her she did not seem too drunk to him and explained that he had been out because his brother was in town. He then continued pursuing her, suggesting an upscale dinner at Hall's Chop House. The conversation also turned personal. The woman told him she was 25 and asked his age. Hickerson said he was 36 at the time, joking that he read on a 25-year-old level and asking whether the age difference was a deal breaker. He also joked that Waffle House was apparently off the table for their first date. She played along and suggested they meet at Hall's to see how they got along. Hickerson continued complimenting her appearance and asking about her background, even joking that after 10 vodka sodas, he had somehow heard her say she was from Alabama. But despite the flirtation, the woman eventually lost interest. She says the age gap made her uncomfortable, and she also did not like the fact that she could not remember their first meeting. She stopped responding, but Hickerson allegedly did not stop trying. On April 2nd, Hickerson appears to have texted her directly, introducing himself and explaining that she did not check Instagram. When she still did not respond, he followed up 2 days later, saying he would be out of town for work and asking if they could meet at Hall's the following week. He tried again after replying to her Instagram story about finding someone to attend Easter Sunday church with. Hickerson allegedly told her he had been planning to skip church because he would be alone and asked where she went. She did not engage. Then, on April 14th, he sent one final message asking when he was taking her to Hall's. She never replied, and the two never spoke again. But months later, everything changed when Hayden Panettiere suddenly died on August 16th at an Airbnb in Greenville, where she had been staying with Hickerson. The woman says hearing his name immediately brought the earlier messages back to mind. She went through her old DMs and realized she may have unknowingly crossed paths with a man who had been in a high-profile, years-long relationship with Panettiere. She then says she learned about Hickerson's documented history of domestic violence involving the actress. Importantly, the woman says Hickerson never mentioned Panettiere during their conversations, and she had no idea about the timeline or troubled nature of their relationship, which began in 2018. There is also one major question that remains unanswered: whether Hickerson's alleged pursuit of this woman overlapped with his relationship with Panettiere. The exact nature and status of Hayden and Brian's relationship on March 28th and in the weeks that followed is unclear, and there is no independent confirmation of an overlap. Hickerson's attorney declined to comment on the story, while Panettiere's representative did not respond to an inquiry by Page 6. And as more details about Hayden and Brian's relationship and personal life continue to surface, Hayden Panettiere's estranged mother, Leslie Vogel, has spoken out against Brian.
Hayden Panettiere's mother is breaking her silence following the actress's heartbreaking death, and she is now publicly speaking about the man she says the family had been trying to get out of her daughter's life. Hayden died on Sunday, August 16th, at the age of 36, after she was found unresponsive and in cardiac arrest at a Greenville, South Carolina residence. Her cause of death has not yet been confirmed. But Hayden's mother, Leslie Vogel, told NBC News that the person the family had been trying to get rid of for some time was Brian Hickerson, and that he was with Hayden when she died. Leslie also reflected on her daughter's life and career, describing Hayden as an incredibly talented person, while acknowledging how difficult growing up in the entertainment industry can be. This person in her life that we have been trying to get rid of for quite some time was with her at her death, and that was Brian Hickerson. There is a lot of history in the past that Brian has enabled Hayden many times, and this is why her father and I had been concerned for him for a long time. I think Hayden was an amazingly talented person in so many departments, and I think young people who grow up in the entertainment industry, it is a struggle, and it's a very challenging industry, and it's not unusual for them to sadly find the wrong path. I think it becomes very difficult to be true to yourself, and I think Hayden sadly lost her way, and I wish it were different. I wish she had stayed true to herself because she had many incredible attributes. I just feel that she's with her brother, and they're at peace. But her comments about Brian come against the backdrop of a deeply troubled relationship. Hayden and Brian first met through mutual friends in Los Angeles around 2018. After Hayden split from her former fiancé, Vladimir Klitschko. Their relationship later became turbulent, with Hayden accusing Brian of physical abuse and seeking legal protection from him. Brian was arrested multiple times over domestic violence allegations involving Hayden between 2019 and 2020. In July 2020, Hayden requested a restraining order against him. After that decision, Hayden publicly said she was prepared to do her part to make sure Brian never hurt anyone again. And years later, Hayden described an alleged incident in her memoir in which she said Brian beat her so severely that she was unable to leave the house for several weeks. She wrote that she did not report the incident at the time because she did not want the situation to become public. The hostility between Brian and Hayden's family was also public. In a past interview with TMZ, Brian lashed out at Hayden's mom, Leslie, calling her one of the worst people he had ever met, and saying he could not deal with her. Now, after Hayden's death, those old tensions are coming back into focus. Because according to police reporting, Brian and his brother, Zach Hickerson, were reportedly at the South Carolina Airbnb when Hayden went into cardiac arrest, and the details of what happened at that scene are now drawing even more attention.